All right, Algebra 1. So this is just a brief recap of what we did in class, okay? So we have two of the same side by side, okay? One with an equal sign and one with an equality. So please remember that an equal sign means that x can only be one number. If x is an inequality, that means that x can be more than one number, okay? Now, I don't have my different colored pens, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do model problem number 2. Now, as discussed in class, when we see parentheses, we know that we're supposed to multiply, not add, but multiply. So this -3 has to multiply with that 1, and it also has to multiply with that -5m. So the result is -3 times 1 is -3, -3 times -5m is positive 15m, and that is equal to 72. Now, in an effort to get m alone, I have to do the opposite of -3, which is to add 3 to both sides. Okay, I'm going to go right ahead, cross those inverses out. I'm left with 15m equals 75. Okay, now to get m alone, I have to divide 15 on both sides. And then finally, I'm left with m equals 5. I think it's 5. It's 5, right? Hold on. Let me double check my math, which is exactly what I want you guys to do. 75 divided by 15. Boom. Yes, it's 5. All right. So the same exact algebraic steps happen here for the inequality, except my final answer is going to be different. So this is -3 plus 15m is greater than or equal to 72. Add 3 to both sides. Okay. 15m is greater than or equal to 75. Divide by 15 on both sides. Okay. Now I'm not dividing by negative, so my sign doesn't have to flip. So it just, everything is copacetic. It stays the same. 15's cancel. I get m is greater than or equal to 5. So with the inequality, this is my answer. And with the equation, this is my answer. Okay. However, with the equation, it can stay the same. With the inequality, I'm not done. I have to graph it. Okay. On a number line. I'm going to put 5 in the middle, 4 and 3, 6 and 7. Now, because my inequality symbol has that line underneath it, that is a closed circle over 5. And since it is pointing to the right, I graph it to the right. Okay. So this answer means that my answer could be 5 or anything greater than 5. This answer means that my answer could only be 5. Okay. Let's go on to model problem number 3. All righty, and here we are. So now I see 2 sets of parentheses. I'm getting crazy now. That means I got to multiply, not multiply, but distribute twice. So this 6 with the 1 and the -9k, and then the 10 with the 7k and the -6. Okay, so what's the result? 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times -9 is -54k. Okay. 10 times 7k, that's going to give me positive 70k. 10 times -6, -60 equals 74. And before adding or subtracting or doing any craziness, I have to identify my like terms, right? So I know that 6 and 60 are like terms. I also know that -54 and 70k are like terms. So I don't know that math on the top of my head, so I'm just going to do it left to right. I'm going to do -54 plus 70. So go ahead in my calculator, -54 plus 70 equals 16. And then 6 minus 60 is -54. But let me just double check that. 6 minus 60, -54. Okay. Oh my God, I already forgot my number. -54 plus 70. 54 plus 70 is 16. Okay. So I'm going to get 16k and minus 54 equals 74. I'm going to add 54 to both sides. Okay. And then I get 16k equals 74 plus 54 equals 128. Divide by 16 on both sides. And I get k is equal to, divided by 16, 8. Now, as you guys can see, I did not do the same for the inequality. We have this entire equation the same with the inequality. And the reason why I didn't do the inequality is because I showed all the steps here, and I feel like you guys can do that one on your own, right? Since we're not dividing by a negative in this step right here, nothing happens to my inequality symbol, okay? So it's going to be K, whatever the inequality symbol is 8, and then you have to make sure that you graph it on a number line, okay? With 8 in the middle, 7, 6, and then 9, 10, and so forth, okay? So I'm going to be looking for this when we are grading the work. And now finally, model problem number 4, okay? I see one set of parentheses, so that means I got to distribute one time before I go, okay? 3 to that negative 3, 3 to that negative 3p, okay? Negative 2p minus 9 minus 3p equals negative 64. Like terms, negative 2p and negative 3p. That gives me negative 5p minus 9 equals negative 64. I'm going to go ahead and add 9 to both sides to get rid of it because that is the inverse. Negative 5p is equal to, all right, so let me get that up. 64 negative plus 9, negative 55, okay? Dividing by negative, negative 5, right? But nothing happens to my equal sign. So p is equal to positive 11. Same steps apply over here, okay? However, keep in mind with this step, I'm dividing by negative, so that is the difference with the inequality. Negative 2p minus 9 minus 3p is greater than negative 64. Negative 5p minus 9 is greater than negative 64. Adding 9 to both sides. Just repeating the same thing that I did over here, okay? So I get negative 5p is greater than negative 55. Now, this is the part where the Regents is going to try to catch you. When you divide an inequality by a negative or multiply it, you flip the sign. So p is not greater than, but less than 11, okay? And of course, I'm not done. I have to graph it with 11, 10, 9, 12, 13. And that is an open circle since there's no line underneath it. So open circle. And it goes, don't mind my mom yelling at my dog in the back. I graph it to the left, okay? And the difference between these two answers, p is equal to only 11, p is equal to all numbers less than 11. So it's not 11, but 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, so on and so forth. Guys, I'm so sorry there's so much noise in my house, but hope the video helps.